Hello, my friends. Maricela Mester here. Today, I wanted to share with you what it's like for me to be coached. So, I had an opportunity to spend time with my coach. I have a health and wellness coach, and this person spends 2 hours with me every other week. And what we have been working on is truly how I view food, and more importantly, the relationship that I have with food. Some of you guys may know, may not know, but I was about 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. And that was, I've had almost a 2-year journey since being diagnosed with breast cancer and really taking control of my health and beginning to shift my mindset in terms of eating things that are good for me, eating things that edify me. I'm not going to say it's been easy, but what I realized today as I was sharing some insight in terms of the work that we've been able to do is just the choices, the active part that I have in choosing to eat things that make me feel better about myself, things that give me energy. I actually had a back injury for a little bit about a month ago, and so I had stopped exercising, and I took some time off, went to a chiropractor, got some treatments, and so then this week I slowly got back into my exercise routine. And what was interesting as I was sharing with her is my body missed the exercise. Like, I began to feel like something wasn't right. Like, I don't know, just something about just the way I was moving. I just didn't have the energy, the vitality that I normally had. And so that automatically, it reminded me, okay, your back's not hurting anymore, so why aren't you exercising? And so this week I started back into my weekly exercise routine. And it was hard getting back to just having that, because it's hard when you start initially, but then after you do the exercising, you have a little more energy and you feel better about yourself. And so I can honestly tell you that I felt very accomplished, and I didn't start hard. I gradually did a little bit, and then the next day I did a little bit more, and then today I did a little bit more. But it was just nice to be able to share the journey with her around, when you do get injured and what that does and how you have to shift. And this past weekend we had the Easter holiday here in the US, and with the Easter holiday, there's a lot of food, a lot of snacks, a lot of sweets. And so for me to really talk through, okay, what is my relationship with things like sweets? And there were some things that I worked through personally that I didn't realize, like some of the language that I was using around how I was trying so hard not to eat the sweets. And she's like, okay, well, what if you didn't try so hard and you just took a bite? And deal with the emotional aspect and not have the guilt, not have the struggle. And so she helped me to shift my focus around how I'm speaking to myself. What's that subconscious mindset that around, because I don't normally have sweets at my house, but I went somewhere and they had sweets. And so there it is. And I feel like I have to have it, but then there was this struggle behind it and the language behind, change that mindset and change that view of how you see food. And okay, if it's there, have a little bit of it, satisfy that craving and be okay with that, and not have that guilt behind eating it or trying it, and then not having the effects later of binge eating, anything like that. Because that's in the journey that I'm in. It's about really managing the emotional eating, and so that I can begin to drop more weight, but it's not in a way of dieting. I've never been a fan of diets. It's not something I've ever done. If anything, I just loved food. So I would eat a lot of food until I was full and satisfied. And then what I realized is I was actually eating to satisfy other needs. And that's where I had put on so much weight. I was close to almost 200 pounds for a female at 5'3". That's a lot of weight. And so I'm glad that I have been able to take some weight off. I know that I'm going to be happier when I take more weight off, because I want to have the energy. I have a beautiful 6-year-old that counts on me, and he runs and he plays, and I want to be able to continue to keep up with him. And that's why it's important for me to go through this journey. But the work that she's doing is so much more about the emotional aspect of why we eat versus, eating as nutrition. And so a lot of times we tend to overeat when we're feeling sad or we're feeling lonely and we're working through some stuff. And she's got an amazing book. And I'm just so honored that I have the opportunity for her to work with me. And so if you're interested, reach out to me. Let me know that you'd like for me to refer you to her. She is amazing. She's in the UK. She's actually written a really great book. And we're only on chapter 1, but just even in that small first chapter, there's just exercises, things that really help you to reflect and understand behaviors. And in my case, in my 40 plus years, I've had a really interesting relationship with food, and to get past what I thought I had to do and holding on to this food to feel good about who I was, when in reality I had other emotional needs that for whatever reason weren't being met, that I can address them now. And it's improved my relationships, it's improved my career, it's improved in a lot of different ways, and just how I feel about myself. I have so much more energy. I don't feel like I don't need to eat the things that I used to. Now I make better choices. I truly will pick broccoli and a salad before I go for the pasta, or the bread. Doesn't mean that I don't have a little bit here and there, but it's not my primary substance that I eat. And so that's really what I wanted to share with you today, because I think it's important for you to recognize that coaches need coaches as well. And I know that in order for me to continue to improve my life, I need to invest in a coach, and I need to make the time and do the work to really get good at becoming ultimately healthy, so that I can continue to help other people in just all the different areas of their life. All right. Thanks for listening to me. If I can serve you in any way, I'm here. All right. Be well.